And Jim Gum, his inaugural season here on the Blitz. Welcome.
I appreciate it, man. I'm excited about this. Listen, boy, you talk about going down to the wire. That Bradley and McMinn game went right down to the wire. And, Bradley came up a little bit short. But, listen, it's first game of the year. A lot of mistakes in that game. Lots of penalties. So as the coaches say, they make the biggest improvement from between game one and game two. So we shall see.
Right. And, I have no doubt that Coach Damon Floyd will be hard at it probably when he gets home tonight watching film. And those mistakes will be corrected because there's no team that I know that is more disciplined and better coached than Bradley Central under Damon Floyd. And what a career he's had at Bradley Central. I think this is year 19 or
number 20. Yes, year 20 here.
So year 20. So your final from Bear Stadium tonight, 21-17 McMinn on an interception as time was winding down. I think Bradley was on the 12-yard line.
Yeah. They had a chance, man.
They did. This came up a little short, but we would love to hear from you, our audience. Give us a call at 423-614-6499. And one of the scores of interest was actually from last night. That was the Walker Valley Cleveland game. I know that you were there. 24-3 was the final. Cleveland. Tell us a little bit about that, Jim.
Well, I'll tell you what, Walker Valley dominated that game. I mean, they got a fumble on the second play of the game, so they only had to go 25 yards. Ulo scored a touchdown, put them up 7-zip. Cleveland did take the next kickoff, and they took it down in the field and had to settle for a field goal. Little did we know that would be the last time that Cleveland would really have any opportunity to score points in that game. And Walker Valley, Ulo looked good, Cunningham looked good, Stevenson looked good. The offense was solid, not spectacular, but solid. But it's that defense, Andy. They really looked disciplined.
They did. And I would like to give a big shout out to Braylon Beard. Braylon Beard played an amazing game. I was talking with his dad periodically through the game, sending me some highlights and things. And man, he was in beast mode.
Well, the thing about the way that Walker Valley played, usually first game of the year, there's tons of mistakes. They looked like they were in mid-season form. Very few penalties. Turned the ball over one time, and Coach even said that was on him. That was a bad play call on his part.
Right.
And but they really did not. They looked like they were seasoned, had played 3 or 4 games already, and that was the difference in the game. And also, Walker Valley did not really cramp up. Cleveland had all sorts of cramping issues last night, and it was an interesting dynamic to watch how both teams were handling the heat and humidity. But man, just very impressed with Walker Valley, and that's who Bradley's going to be playing next Friday. So yeah,
next Friday at Walker Valley, that's going to be a big game for the Bears. Big rivalry game, and I have no doubt that'll be a game to watch next week. And the two middle schools, Lake Forest Middle and Ocoee Middle, will be playing on Thursday night at Walker Valley as well next week. So two big nights next week at Walker Valley. So come out, check them out, be some good games.
A lot of rivalries early in the season amongst the local teams. If you want to include McMinn, I mean, they're just up the road. They feel like a local team here. They're not in Bradley County, but they're so darn close. But yeah, so you got all these teams playing each other first 3 weeks of the season. It really is crazy, but a lot of bragging rights going on right now.
Right. That's two years, back-to-back years that Bradley has lost to McMinn. So I know that does not sit well with Damon Floyd, and I would hate to be McMinn and Bouquet will come next year.
Well, we got a lot of football between now and then, but you're right because, listen, when you lose to your rival, it stings a little bit more. I mean, you don't want to lose any game. We all know that. But, man, when you lose to a rival, just like, Cleveland losing to Walker Valley, it stings just a little bit more. Now, we've got, like I said, next week we've got Cleveland going to McMinn County and Bradley going to Walker County. So, we've got some more rivalries next week as well.
Right. And speaking of rivalries, big game up to the north of us tonight, Maryville and Alcoa. And Alcoa man, it was a close one, but they pulled it out 28-21 against Maryville. So, I would say that the parking lot was not a fun place to be after that game.
Oh no! The Alcoa was the home team, and they held serve in their home on their home field and everything. But that's there's no love lost between those two, and a lot of those kids are just like here. They all grow up amongst each other. They know each other, and they've played against each other for all these years, and elementary school all the way through middle school, now into high school. So there's a lot of bragging rights going on up there as well.
Well, to recap the scores that we've covered so far, we've got Walker Valley Cleveland from last night at Cleveland. Walker Valley comes out with a win 24-3.
28-3.
Or 28-3, sorry. 28-3. And we have tonight's game, Bradley Central falls to McMinn 21-17. Maryville loses to Alcoa 28-21. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we would love to hear from you on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. Give us a call at 423-614-6489.
Hardee's is hiring. Join the Star Team. Flexible scheduling, daily pay, free.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything bright. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
At Mermaid Mattress, we've been obsessed with helping you sleep better for over 45 years.
And as a mom of a newborn, I understand the importance of a good night's sleep.
What happened to you?
Your grandson.
This Labor Day, we have the best deals on Mermaid mattresses right here in Chattanooga.
Like our memory foam or two-sided anniversary mattress in any size for only $5.95.
And that's only at Mermaid Mattress.
Your sleep handmade, hand-delivered.
Did you know that a large number of student athletes vape, thinking it will give them a boost in performance? But you can't play if you can't breathe. Escape the vape.
Escape the Vape is a partnership to prevent teen vaping, presented by ATS The Bridge, Bradley County Schools, and Cleveland City Schools.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles, perfectly suited for your adventurous spirit. From powerful SUVs ready to conquer any terrain to your everyday gas-friendly commuters, we have the perfect vehicle to match your lifestyle. This is Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive dreams become reality. Visit one of our 3 locations in Dalton, Chattanooga, and Cleveland today, and let us take your driving experience to new peaks.
Hey, it's Josh with exciting news from Wholesale Supply. I want to introduce you to Piper's Picks, now available in our Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Dalton markets. Thanks to our partnership with Piper Strummett and our friends at Progress Lighting, Piper's Picks brings you the latest trends and styles in decorative lighting. Browse our curated selection in our showrooms and make lighting your project easier than ever. Visit Wholesale Supply today and discover Piper's Picks, where style meets innovation. To find out more information and a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us for more.
Elsewhere, we've got Boyd Buchanan over St. Vincent 47-27. CCS shuts out Ooltewah 42-0. It was Signal Mountain 29-zip over Chattanooga Central. Another shutout, Notre Dame 53-0 over Grace Baptist. East Hamilton defeats Hickson 36-14. McCauley over Lipscomb Academy 35-14. In a low-scoring game, Meigs County defeats Chattanooga Prep 6-zip. In a good rivalry game over here, kind of close to us, McMinn Central defeats Polk County 22-12. A really good game. Ray County goes to Red Bank, and they come away with a 10-7 win, so a big win for Ray County there. Another one sounds like it went down to the wire. Tyner Academy, they beat Silverdale 28-27. It was Lookout Valley 14-12 over Sunbright, and Sweetwater over Sequoia 65-7. And, of course, you mentioned earlier, Andy, that Alcoa beats Maryville in a really big-time rivalry up the road 28-21.
Right. I'm saddened to say that the Fighting Lingerfelts of Sequoia fall again tonight. So my good friend Brandon Lingerfelt, sorry buddy, but your alumni Sequoia loses again tonight, 65-7.
Yeah, listen. The tough thing about starting a season is that when you got two teams playing each other and they're rivals, somebody's coming away with a loss.
Right.
And we've got Maryville. They're sitting there 0-1. Mm-hmm. And they're not feeling good about themselves at all.
No,
and any of these teams that lose, especially if you lose a heartbreaker like some of these teams did. I mean, Bradley, listen, penalties just absolutely it did them in today. No, listen, and we expect that. Look, we talked earlier today about the Walker Valley, how clean of a game they played. That's an anomaly. Most of the times in game one, you've got penalties, you've got turnovers, and you can just point at multiple things. You like, if only we'd have done this, and only if we'd have done that, maybe the results would have been different. But it is what it is, and hats off to McMinn. They came away. They went to Bradley on the road, and they come away with a big 21-17 win.
Big win for McMinn, definitely. And they'll be riding that high going into next week against Cleveland.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, we'd love to hear you out there. To give us a call at 423-614-6499. Tell us what you think about about the Bradley and the McMinn game. And if you want to talk about the Cleveland Walker Valley game from last night, we'd love to hear your opinion about that. But, listen, it is what it is. And, Cleveland, Bradley, both sitting there at 0-1. But they can redeem themselves next week. Cleveland going to McMinn, Bradley going to Walker Valley. So we will see if one team can or both teams can overcome their 0-1 start, or if we can see if McMinn and Walker Valley can improve to 2-0.
Definitely. This week, tonight's game, McMinn, Bradley, we're all excited and enjoying, first football game of the season. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say that it was kind of tough not hearing Earl Rowan doing a play-by-play with Gary Wimby. But it was really good to hear my friend Ricky Talent co-hosting with him tonight. Ricky is actually one of my football coaches at school, and he's a former Bradley Bear, played center. Really great guy, and I thought did a really good job tonight. So he adds some really good insight.
Yeah, listen, Coach Earl Rowan was there for a long, long time, and he's one. You don't replace him; you just get someone else to fill a seat,
right?
And that's fine, and that happens. It's going to happen to all of us. We're all, we all have a timeline, and we don't know when that last day is going to be. But Coach Earl Rowan was just a fixture, just like Corky Whitlock was for all those years. So it happens. Life goes on for the rest of us, and they did a great job. I listened to a lot of that game. They've got really good chemistry right off the bat. So everything's going to be just fine there at the with the Bradley Bears broadcast on the radio for sure.
Definitely. Looking ahead. Next week, we've got Bradley, Walker Valley, at Walker Valley, and we've got McMinn and Cleveland. Cleveland at McMinn, correct?
Right, exactly. So you got the 2 0-1 teams going to the 2 1-0 teams. McMinn wins on the road. Walker Valley wins on the road. Now they get to go home, and the 2 home teams that I guess we've watched a little closer than the other schools around here.
Right.
The 2 home teams lose. So not only do you lose at home. And we all know that, home cooking, man, there's a thing called home field advantage, and it's real. We've all been there. So now you got to play on the road if you're Cleveland at McMinn, if you're Bradley at Walker Valley. So, that makes it that much more difficult.
Definitely does. Let's go back over a few of these scores of interest from our Warren and Griffin PC scoreboard. We've got Walker Valley last night 28-3 over Cleveland. Bradley Central loses tonight 21-17 to McMinn. Alcoa pulls out the win against Maryville tonight 28-21. Carnes and Hardee Valley up in East Tennessee. And in the second quarter, Hardee Valley is up big on Carnes, 38-12. Chat Prep in Meigs County at the half, 6-0 Meigs County. McMinn Central gets the big win against Polk County, 22-12. Congratulations, Coach JT Ostrowski, first-year coach there, replaced Matt Moody, who is now at Ooltewah.
Right.
Ostrowski was the head coach at Ocoee Middle last year, so congratulations. And I think that we have our first caller of the evening.
Yeah, well,
hello, caller. You're on Friday Night Blitz.
You know who this is?
Hello, caller.
You know who this is? Brett.
Hello, caller.
This is Brett Whitehead.
Hello,
I call
caller.
in.
Well, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties.
That's all right. Just try again later. I'll tell you what, we'll figure this out. We'll get you back on. So give us a call here. That number to call, by the way, for the Warren and Griffin scoreboard here on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz is 423-614-6499. That's 423-614-6499.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're hoping to hear from some callers. Hopefully we can get these things straightened out with our calls. We'll be back to you in just a moment. 614-6499. Give us a call.
Now at Hardee's, 2 hand-breaded chicken tender wraps.
Bank account's too low, check into cash. So where do you go? .com. Do it online in a record time. It's the easy way to get money next day. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. You can be sure it's secure from our bank straight to yours. Do a quick click from home at checkintocash.com. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom.
Shopping for a great deal on a car or truck? Know this. Cleveland Ford is loaded with vehicles, over 230 in stock, all discounted. I'm talking saving up to $7,500 on new F-Series trucks and Mustang Mach-E. We have financing as low as 0% on Edge and 1.9% for 72 months on new F-150s. And as always, you get a lifetime powertrain warranty and complimentary service when you buy from us. So hurry to Cleveland Ford today because this sale ends soon, or shop us at clevelandford.com.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT hand-breaded chicken sandwich.
I told my son to find me the nicest place to live in Cleveland. He said, Dad, there's only one place, and that's Garden Plaza. And I moved into the patio home. Everybody knows your name from day one. And there's something to do all day long if you want to participate in it. You cannot possibly be bored at Garden Plaza. It is just great. And their food is outstanding. It's out of this world. I'm so happy I'm here. Garden Plaza is it for me.
Cleveland Tire is ready to help your auto any way it can. We're one of the largest providers of Bridgestone and Firestone tire dealers in the area. We sell all major brand tires. We have ASE certified mechanics on staff 6 days a week. We also have a commercial truck tire center that provides 24-hour roadside service and minor mechanical repairs on site. We have built our reputation on years of quality, affordable work and tires. We pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and great service. Cleveland Tire Center.
ESPN Radio returns to Southeast Tennessee. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM is the new home of the Vols, Braves, Falcons, Bulldogs, and more of your favorite teams. Listen on air or at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck, it's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
"20 years later, we've grown in many ways, but never out of that same customer-first heart to serve. Doing the right thing simply because it's right will earn your business the right way every day, every year. Offering permanent steel roofing and siding at competitive prices. Keeping promises, staying on time for both deliveries and pickups. Making things right when we come up short. Partners like you are the reason Best Buy Metals exists.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
Come see us.
Love supporting local? Then you'll love shopping with Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, your hometown dealer. We're happy to be part of this community and proud to serve you with the better way to buy and service. Plus,
during the Make This the Summer event, you can drive new Ram trucks for as low as $45,000.
And we'll deliver yours to your door. Visit your hometown dealer today, Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Cleveland, the better way to buy and service.
Gum, and we are going to recap some scores. We are having some difficulties with the phone lines, but we're working very diligently to get that fixed. When that does get fixed, give us a call at 423-614-6499. Jim, do you have some updated scores for us?
I do. Baylor, by the way, looking like Baylor usually looks, they beat Santa Louise from out of Florida 56-17. Boyd Buchanan over St. Vincent 47-27. Marion County over Brainerd 26-3. CCS over Ottawa 42-0. It was Signal Mountain over Chattanooga Central 21-0. Notre Dame, listen to this score, Andy, 73-0 over Grace Baptist. Wow, that's pretty impressive right there. East Hamilton over Hickson 36-14. McCauley 35-14 over Lipscomb Academy. Meigs County over Chattanooga Prep 6-0. 22-12, McMinn Central over Polk County. Ray County 10-7 over Red Bank. It was Tyner Academy escaping Silverdale with a 28-27 win there on the road at Silverdale. Lookout Valley 14-12 over Sunbright. Sail Creek 12-0 over Wartburg. Sweetwater 65-7 over Sequoia, and of course Alcoa 28-21 over Maryville. And the two scores here that we're most interested in: Walker Valley last night 28-3 over Cleveland, and just a little while ago you heard that game right here on ESPN. Cleveland 21-17 over Baylor. That, of course, from the Warren and Griffin scoreboard.
We're gonna try. I think we've got a caller calling in. Hello, caller. You're on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
Hey, this is JJ from Chattanooga. I just watched probably one of the best games in Chattanooga. Silverdale was up 27-20, but Tyner came back and won. Final score was 28-27 Tyner.
So I'm assuming that Tyner scored a touchdown and went for two?
Yes.
Wow.
And Silverdale tried to score at the last second, but time ran out. But I mean, it was probably almost like the Alcoa game. That was in the other game. But yeah, Tyner did win tonight, and then next week we got to go to South Pittsburgh. So that'll be a big game. That's going to be a tough one.
Yes, South Pittsburgh's a very tough place to win.
Tonight, or do y'all know?
Say that again.
Did South Pittsburgh win tonight, or do you know?
We don't have that score in just yet. Let me see if we can find that one.
So, how did Tyner look tonight?
Tyner looked great. Silverdale looked great. They had one kicker on their side that was like 6 foot, almost over 300 pounds. It was a kicker.
Oh, wow.
And he looked really good. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, I haven't either.
Boy, that's a tough loss though for Silverdale. Can you imagine all the woulda, coulda, shouldas that they're going through right now?
Yeah,
I mean, you know that.
Oh, I know, but no, I mean they played good. I mean, we had a couple of calls that didn't go our way, but you know, but Silverdale and Tyner both look good tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, you do the little things, and it's a game of inches. So. And it sounds like you guys did the small things and came out on top, came out victorious, and you guys march ahead next week and go and play South Pitt. It's at South Pitt, right?
Yes, sir. And I didn't know if y'all had a score for them yet.
I'm trying to find it. I'm not finding it just yet. So we're going to continue to look for that. And when we find that score, we will pass that along for sure.
We appreciate
All right,
you
well,
calling
guys
in.
have a
Thanks
good
so
night.
much, man.
All right, bud. All right,
Bye. So that was a thriller of a game at Tyner, with Tyner and Silverdale. I'm not quite sure where that was at, but I think it was.
It was at Silverdale. And,
Okay.
we were talking about when we saw that final score, I made the comment. I said, I wonder if they tied it, if they scored a touchdown late and maybe Silverdale went for two and missed it. But in fact, it was the other way. It was a 20. They had the 27-20 lead. And they allow a touchdown late, and then they get the 2-point conversion. And, so Tyner Academy, they come away with a gutsy – that's a gutsy call. Because, you kick the extra point, you're going overtime.
Right.
They go for the win, and, my hat's off to coaches that do stuff like that.
Well, that reminds me of the great Les Miles when he was at LSU.
Oh, my gosh.
Mad Hatter. Like, he was going for all the marbles every time.
He did. He was he was one of those guys that he did things so unorthodox like.
Yes.
And I'll tell you another one, and remember this, back when Miami beat Nebraska, Tom Osborne, if he kicks the extra point, Nebraska wins the national championship because they would have won, and that was 1983. He says, no, we're not going to do that. We're going for the win. Miami stopped him. Of course, Miami, that was their first national championship. But going for two, especially back then there was no overtime. We do have overtime now. So you see more guys kicking the extra point to go to overtime. But once in a while, you're like, you know what? I think we're kind of lucky to be in this situation. Let's go ahead and go for it all right now, because if we go to overtime, I don't like our chances. And that's when you that's when you try to win it right there in regulation.
Right. Yeah, you gotta have your finger on the pulse of your team.
You do, and you maybe you got guys that are cramping up, guys that are just so dinged up that you're like, you know what? I don't think we could survive an overtime here. Let's go for the win right here, and I'll guarantee you, the head coach probably gets with the players and goes, what do y'all want to do? And they probably say, Coach, let's go for it. We can punch it in, and sometimes you just got to listen to your guys.
And that's why you practice, and that's what you actually, as a player, you live for those moments, or you should live for those moments.
Yeah, and obviously, let's say they go for it and they don't make it, then you're going to second guess the coach.
Right.
I mean, that's human nature.
Right.
But they got it, and so good for them. So they get the big win on the road out at Silverdale. So Tyner going to Silverdale, that's a pretty decent rival. Those schools are fairly close to each other. So, that was a big win there for sure.
So, the other really big game tonight, really close game, was the Alcoa Marable game. Those two teams are constantly, year in, year out, vying for a state championship.
Yeah, they are. And two of the most successful programs in the entire state, right up there, right outside of Knoxville. And, Alcoa, the home team, they come away with a 28-21 win. Obviously, it's always good to be at home when you're playing your rival like that. But, it doesn't always guarantee you anything. I mean, look what happened here in our neck of the woods. You had Bradley hosting a big rival, the second longest rivalry in the entire state. Bradley succumbs at home 21-17. A lot of mistakes on Bradley's side. And, of course, last night Walker Valley goes to Benny Monroe Stadium at Raider Field. They come away with a really impressive 28-3 win.
Definitely. We talk about game day environments and rivalries and those things. And I actually, by accident, was in the Alcoa Marable game day experience.
Oh, is that right?
A couple of years ago on fall break, we were traveling up to spend a week at a cabin in Pigeon Forge and decided, hey, let's go the scenic route. So we go 411, go up through there, and notice that, hey, traffic is getting really, really backed up here. Like, what's the deal?
Yep.
And, it's like they're right in the middle of the neighborhood, the football stadium is. So it was insane. I mean, I've never seen so many people, the fans, body paint. It was cars decorated. It it was insane.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you see a lot more of that in high school football these days than you used to. I mean, I know last night, of course, I was at the, doing the play-by-play for the Walker Valley and Cleveland game, and on both sides, Cleveland and Walker Valley, you had all these kids that are painted up, and they've got all sorts of stuff on them. I just can't imagine being that patient but painting. I don't know, do you paint your own body or do you have one of your friends paint it for you? I sure as heck I don't know how they do that stuff, but it's really, I think it's cool though.
Well, first of all, when I was in high school, I wouldn't be caught dead with my shirt on.
Well,
and definitely wouldn't want somebody painting it. So
yeah, they'd have to go to the store and get an extra gallon of paint to paint my body.
Me too. We got another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
This is Brett Whitehead.
Hey, Brett. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
So what have you been up to since the last time we talked?
You know I'm friends with Andy Morris, right?
Say that again?
You know I'm friends with Andy Morris.
Are you?
My condolences. I'm kidding. Andy's a good guy. Andy's a good guy.
I was calling in. South Pitt didn't have a game tonight.
That's why we can't find a score. There's a reason why we couldn't find a score. Okay.
They didn't have a game tonight.
Interesting.
They were preparing for Tyner.
They are. Yeah, Tyner's going there with a lot of confidence as they travel to South Pittsburgh playing the Pirates next Friday for sure.
The 29th.
Hey, Brett, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What is your prediction for the Bradley Walker Valley game next week?
I'm going with Bradley.
Go Bears.
You know why I'm picking Bradley?
Why is that?
I went to school there.
Absolutely. What do you think the score is going to be?
31-17.
31-17. Okay.
Well, I fully expect that Bradley's going to make a lot fewer mistakes next Friday than they did this Friday. They really shot themselves in the foot multiple times against McMinn. But you know what? That's football. You got to be. You can't do that stuff if you want to come away with a win.
I was just going to say a big congratulations to Garrett Payne. He's the coach at Boyd.
He used to coach at Bradley Central.
No, he was the assistant coach.
Yeah. And he's where again?
At Boyd Buchanan.
Boyd Buchanan, okay.
And I want to say hi to my good friend, Coach Matt Moody.
Yep, Matt Moody's at Ottawa, and Ottawa actually lost tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah. Boyd Buchanan did win. They won 47-27 against St. Vincent, so good for them.
Yeah,
Ottawa.
Yeah, we have a big game next week against Walker.
Yep.
Huge game.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna be doing my show on Thursdays.
Brett's Picks.
No, it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So give us your pick of the Cleveland McMinn game. We already know what you think about the Bradley Walker Valley game. What about Cleveland at McMinn County next Friday?
I'm going with Cleveland. Big win over McMinn County next Friday.
Oh, that's
so you going with both road teams again? Listen, both road teams won this weekend. So what's to say that the two road teams can't win next weekend?
Brett's feeling it.
I was just going to tell you. You know how you could find me on YouTube?
What's that? What's your channel?
The show, Brett's Picks. Brett Whitehead Sports.
Brett Whitehead Sports. We'll have to check that out.
Well,
It's
Brett,
on, the guy that is doing the show with me, his name is Gwen Schroeder.
Yeah, I know Mr. Schroyer.
He's my teacher.
Yep, audio-visual guy. Great guy.
Yeah, I work with him. He works with me doing the college picks every Monday and doing my show on Thursdays.
Awesome. Well, Brett, we're going to have to hop off here, buddy. But I appreciate you calling in, and we look forward to hearing from you next week after the big Bradley win.
Big Bradley Walker Valley win.
That's right. All right, Brett, we'll talk to you later, buddy.
And good, go Bears and go Vols.
That's right. We'll see you next week.
Oh, man. Boy, he's going for all the road teams winning again next weekend. He's got Cleveland,
the Road Warrior.
Yeah, Cleveland at McMinn next Friday. Of course, Bradley at Walker Valley next Friday. 2 0-1 teams going on the road against 1-0 teams. So, boy, the last thing you want to do if you're Cleveland and Bradley is to start the season 0-2. That's just, that smarts, man.
You know, one of the worst things about losing, and God forbid you start losing more games as a team, is, you know, a lot can be forgiven when you're winning, you know, but when you start losing, like everything, it's like you're under a microscope. Every little thing becomes magnified. So, you know, nobody wants to win more than these coaches that have started out 0-1.
No question about that. And in case you don't know, these games are not region games. Bradley and Cleveland are both in Region 2 6A, while Walker Valley is in Region 3 5A. And in fact, here are the teams that are in Region 3 5A along with Walker Valley. You got East Hamilton, Lenoir City, McMinn County, Ooltewah, Ray County, Soddy Daisy, and Walker Valley. In Region 2 6A, you got Bearden, Bradley Central, Cleveland, Farragut, Hardee County, Maryville, and Oak Ridge. That is a tough region right there. And I'm telling you that Region 3 5A, where Walker Valley is in, you know, we always saw McMinn County was able to, you know, step up in class and beat Bradley. Walker Valley stepped up in class and beat Cleveland. So we've already seen that those guys are more than capable of beating teams in a higher classification, for sure.
Definitely. But it's like, you know, I know as a larger middle school, you know, sometimes you're trying to fill your schedule and you're trying to find teams to play. And especially being a bigger school doesn't always equate to being like a better whatever team it is.
Right.
But it's so hard to schedule teams that are not comparable in size.
Well, the theory is that they feel like the larger the enrollment is, the larger the pool of athletes. Yes. So they feel like the larger of the pool of athletes, you're going to be able to, you know, have a little bit better pool of football players, basketball players, and whatever sport it is. And that's why they do it. And I get it, but you're right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And listen, you can have the greatest collection of athletes, but if they're not coached well, you're going to come away with a big L. Not saying that any of these teams are not coached well, but, man, when you start the season off 0-1 and then you're going against some really good competition in week 2, and you're staring at an 0-2 start, that'll get your attention real quick.
Really quick.
Hey, give us a call on the Warren Griffin scoreboard, 423-614-6499, 423-614-6499. You're listening to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. Let's go ahead and take a break right now. Wait a minute. Let's go ahead and get this call first. We'll take that break. Go ahead, caller. You're listening to the Hardee's Football Friday Night Blitz.
I was looking forward to getting to talk to the Andrew Jenkins tonight.
Coach,
how are you, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. So I know that you were at the game tonight, right?
We did, yeah. Took the boys, and the boys got a ride, and I met them there. So I was there for the second half, so I feel like I jinxed the whole thing. When I got there, we were looking good. We did not after I got there, so I take full responsibility for this, Jenkins. Full responsibility.
Well, hey, here's what I want to know about. I watched it, but it's different watching it on TV than it is in person. So tell me about the Reggie Hubbard 98-yard kickoff return.
I mean, it was the highlight of the second half for a Bradley fan. It was pretty incredible. There were multiple times where he looked like he was going down, and then he got to get out of a pile, and I mean, it was pretty incredible. It was definitely the highlight. There wasn't a lot of great things offensively, unfortunately, in the second half. So that was the highlight when we had the football for sure. It was pretty incredible play.
Definitely a really, really athletic kid.
Yeah, I don't know him. I was wondering if maybe he was one of ours, but Pretty impressive run for sure.
Coach, what would you say was the main reason behind the loss tonight from Bradley's perspective?
Yeah, I got my boys here listening too, and a lot of mistakes. You know, a lot of first game mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like our defensive line is going to be a problem for other teams. Man, they were. You're talking about the 13, the new kid, the Westfield kid, and of course Zane, and the 22, the little linebacker. I'm embarrassed myself trying to pronounce his last name. But man, he was all over the field. So defensively, there's a lot to build on, and you know, offensively, you've got the big Lewis kid that's a problem, the matchup nightmare. But there were just times it looked like, you know, young quarterback. I mean, and we've all, you know, we've seen that before where he's young quarterback kind of working through some things. But I mean, you know as well as I do, there's nobody that works harder than that coaching staff. They're going to figure things out. You know, they're going to settle things down, run the ball a little bit more behind a big offensive line. I think the future's bright for Bradley. You know, I think Bradley fans have been spoiled the last few years. You know, of course, last year we were a little down, but I think we expect 8-2 every season or 9-1 every season, and we've kind of been spoiled to that because Damon's created such a winning culture. And but I mean, there's no team that's going to play harder than Bradley. They're flying around, they're competing every play. You know, just a few too many mistakes, and I think what's the old adage? The biggest gains you make as a team are between week 1 and week 2. So,
correct.
Oh yeah.
You know, of course, Walker Valley looked so good last night too, and they're going to be tough to beat. But I think if Bradley eliminates those problems, which they will, and let those defensive line kind of control the line of scrimmage, Bradley's going to be a problem for a lot of teams throughout this year for sure.
Well, you're talking about about quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, and we have a young quarterback that had a big night last night against Sevier County at the middle school level with the Bruins. Mr. Luke Winters, two touchdown passes, pass for a 2-point conversion. So big night for Luke. I know he's a little sore today, but man, I tell you what, it makes it a little less. I guess you hurt just a little less when you have a game and you're successful like that.
Jenkins, you are making this very difficult for me. He's hard enough to deal with as it is. Now, I mean, he's not going to be able to get out of the car. His smile is about to bust his skin through his lips. He's smiling so big, hearing that. But no, man, he's as tough as they come. I tell him all the time, man, the quarterbacks that can sit there and stare a guy down as he knows he's going to get hit and still complete the throw. I mean, those guys have a different level of courage, and you know, he played really, really well. I know his daddy stresses out a little bit watching him play, especially after his brother's injury, and I think my level of anxiety is maybe a tenth of his mama's anxiety as she watches him play. But no, man, it's a blast to watch him play. He's such a great kid, and you know, competes and leads and does all the good things. Loves the Lord, loves his family, and competes. So, man, I couldn't be proud of that kid. He's a whole lot tougher than his daddy. I know that. Both these boys are, for sure.
Well, I won't disagree with you there.
Yeah.
But hey, you. I don't know if you're feeling it, but we are all in the presence of greatness. Mr. RC Talent just walked into the studio here at Mix 104, the new co-host of the Bears, and so I would love to hear his thoughts after his first game.
Well, hello. I was just dropping by to say hi for a second, but Coach Winters, are you still there?
I sure am, man. I was going to say I sent Ricky a text. You know, Ricky's he does such a great job out at our place already. But I told him, man, Coach Rowan's smiling down, listening to RC talk about the Bears. I know that. It was pretty special hearing him talk, and I had a little tear in my eye listening to him after listening to Coach Rowan for pretty much my whole life.
Right. Man. Yeah, no, I thought it was, Coach Winters, I thought you hit it perfectly. You know, penalties are big, and, you know, a lot of those first game jitters, you know, those things come with first games. But, you know, I also thought, you know, the try for the fake punt there in the end zone was pretty vital too, because if you capitalize on that, you're a hero. If you don't, you're scalded, and they didn't. So it was a short field. McMinn got the ball, at the 1 or 2 yard line. That's an easy 7 points right there. You take that off the board, it's a whole different ball game. So those are things that you have to connect on when you try to do it. And Coach Floyd will be the first one to tell you we can't do that if we can't capitalize on that. So first half, I thought we did a great job at controlling the line of scrimmage. We ran the ball well. Reggie Hubbard looked good with his feet. I called him Sweetness up in the box, but man, that kid is getting after it. So, but defensive line 13, AJ's a problem. He's a problem. The kid was getting after it. But little attrition set in, I think, the second half, and they were running kind of up the middle quite a bit and couldn't really stop it. So McMinn did a good job at mixing it up in the second half, and unfortunately we came out at the other end of it today.
Who would you say was somebody that stood out tonight that you didn't expect to stand out for Bradley?
Yeah, I like to give a lot of love to the guys up front for sure. Defensive line wise, I thought Paul Stokes did a pretty good job. He, I was with him last year a little bit, and just seeing him kind of his body's different. He can move around really well. Obviously 13. I haven't seen him play much, but after seeing him tonight, he was unbelievable. AJ. Zane had a good, played well. Luke Haggy, all those boys, there's moments where they make mistakes, but for the most part, I felt like they did a pretty good job. Just got a little attrition there in the second half and just wasn't able to overcome it.
Right. And, nothing really warms the heart more than seeing former Bruins out there on the field having success. So, job well done, men. Great game tonight. Came up just a little short, but, like I said earlier, I know that they're going to be beyond prepared for next week at Walker Valley.
Did you get to see any of the Walker Valley Cleveland game?
So we were on our way back from Sevier County, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't. I'm a big Steelers fan, so I was watching the Steelers preseason game.
There you go. I hear you.
Everybody else was watching the game, but I got to keep my priorities straight. So I've got to watch, the Steelers in our preseason battle with our players. But I didn't, but I heard good things about Walker Valley, and
that defense is pretty darn good. And talking about mistakes, they played a very clean game, and that's so unusual first game of the year, especially at the high school level, and just extremely well disciplined. They just did very few penalties and only had one turnover. So they're a solid football team for sure.
Absolutely.
A couple of standouts on their defense last night for me are actually a couple former Bruins. You got Braylon Beard, and then you got Jones Hicks, who came up with I think it was a fumble recovery.
Yeah, he did.
So two great kids that are having success at the second level, high school level, and super proud of them and impressed with what they're doing. Going into next week, if you're Damon, what are you preaching to the kids?
Yeah, I think Coach Floyd always talks about trust. They've got it on their helmet a little bit, and I think they got to go back to the drawing board and just kind of reevaluate themselves a little bit. They did a good job at scheming things up tonight. Offensively at times, and they ran the ball well. We just got to stay true to that. And we've got to create that identity to where we just got to stay that bus face mentality throughout the entire game.
Right.
Coach Floyd does a great job at rebounding, I think, for the most part. And we were talking up in the booth like, man, I'd hate to be in the locker room, but he's always had this ability and talent to rebound, like I said, and. I look for next Friday night to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. Our boys are going to be ready to play. I know Walker Valley's chomping at the bits to get after us again, and it'll be a fun atmosphere in Bradley County.
What about the Cleveland McMinn game? Who you got in that game?
You know what? That's a hard one to pick right there. After a tough loss, I'm sorry, I'm a Bradley guy. I'm not a big Cleveland fan, but I'm going to have to go McMinn. They're black and gold. I told you I'm a Steelers.
Let me ask you a question. I know this is all hypothetical. Let's say Bradley and McMinn County play 10 times.
Yes.
What do you think?
Bradley wins 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for sure. It's mistakes. It's penalties.
And how many penalties did they have?
I think it was around 13 or 14 penalties.
It's hard to overcome that.
Yeah.
Hard to overcome that.
Yeah, that's tough, but you got to keep pressing. I know we talk about that a lot Coach Gregory talks about that a lot. We got to keep pressing, keep moving, and that's week 1. We got a lot more to go.
Well, you talk about bus-face football. That matchup next week, Cleveland McMahon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the way that Cleveland's offense appeared last night to me, anyways, is they're going to be a traditional football team, old school football team, going to try to run the ball a lot, and we know that's McMahon's game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, McMahon looked really good up front tonight. With the kid going to West Virginia, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Goforth is his last name.
Yeah. They look good up front, and
he's a big boy.
He is. He was massive.
He's a mountain of a man, is he?
Yeah, he is. I mean, so I do think Cleveland may have some issues with that. But again, I haven't seen Cleveland yet, so I just know that kid's really. Those guys are pretty.
Well, they don't
big.
have anyone nearly as big as him.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you that. Right.
Well, they're McMahon's physical, and this is a McMahon team that also, I think, played Tyner pretty well in a scrimmage or something.
By the way, did you hear about that, Tyner? How they finished that game against Silverdale? So if Silverdale is up 27-20, Tyner scores late.
Oh my goodness!
So it's 27, 26. They go for 2. They get it.
Oh my
They win the game 28-27.
Was this at Silverdale?
Yeah, they beat out at Silverdale.
Wow.
So Tyner Academy comes away with a 28-27 win. Very gutsy call on the head coaches.
The difference between
I'm telling you, that's a great. I love being aggressive like that.
Sure. Yeah, I used to coach at Silverdale, so that was that's a shock to me. I know they got a pretty good ball team, and I know that was News Channel something game of the week this week.
Yep.
And
I think it was Channel 3. I think it was a local 3 game of the week. Yeah.
Well, Seahawk Nation, I hope you guys are able to rebound. I appreciate you guys and love the Seahawks for sure.
Yep.
I think we got a call. Let's take this call.
Okay. It's the other line. Someone wanted to advertise with Steve Hartline.
That's the complaint line. But that's a little unknown fact about RC Talent. We saved him from Silverdale.
That's a good place.
And
now.
Coach Winters and I personally saved him last year from Tellico.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm not going to comment on that. I know some people. I know some people there at Silverdale. There's some good people. There's some good people there.
Yeah,
well, we got a great person with this dude.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, my aunt's the CFO over there, so she, I don't think she's listening to this. She's probably in bed by now. But that is a great community Silverdale has over there. They do a great job at, they just do a great job and have a great atmosphere. And Coach Connor does a good job. Coach Capehart, all those guys. And I was very fortunate of my couple years there, but this is home. Yep. So Bradley County's home.
I got to commend you. You did a good job tonight. I listened to a lot of the game. You and Gary, you're going to develop even more chemistry as the season goes on. But y'all did a really good job. Sure. You did a fantastic job.
Well, I appreciate it. I didn't want to step on nobody's toes. I know Gary is a mentor of mine, and he's been doing it a long time, and. There's no other voice like Coach Rowan, and I think everybody knows instantly when he was still around that when you were listening to a Bradley football game because you heard his voice. Mm-hmm. And I'll never try to be him. I'll just try to be the best RC I can be, and we'll just go from there.
Well, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And Gary keeps you straight on the basketball clock, too.
He does. I'm still learning how to run that clock a little bit. I'm sorry to all the Ocoee fans out there. I think I hit the buzzer with about 2 seconds left last year in one of the games. But that's Mr. Jenkins' fault. We got to get that buzzer fixed. So
little home cooking.
Oh, Lord.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call here at 423-614-6499. You are listening to the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
Hardee's is hiring. Join the Star Team.
ESPN Radio returns to Southeast Tennessee. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM is the new home of the Vols, Braves, Falcons, Bulldogs, and more of your favorite teams. Listen on air or at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM.
When the classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato meet the classic goodness of Hardee's Frisco lineup, you get instant summer favorites. Introducing Hardee's Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich.
Sun is shining, it's a beautiful day. Wake up, sleepyhead, get up and play. Everything's yellow, it's a beautiful sight. Sunbeam showers makes everything right. Come on now, let's get away.
Make every day brighter with the sunny southern goodness of Mayfield Dairy.
At Mermaid Mattress, we've been obsessed with helping you sleep better for over 45 years.
And as a mom of a newborn, I understand the importance of a good night's sleep.
What happened to you?
Your grandson.
This Labor Day, we have the best deals on Mermaid mattresses right here in Chattanooga.
Like our memory foam or two-sided anniversary mattress in any size for only $5.95.
And that's only at Mermaid Mattress.
Your sleep handmade, hand-delivered.
Did you know that a large number of student athletes vape, thinking it will give them a boost in performance? But you can't play if you can't breathe. Escape the vape.
Escape the Vape is a partnership to prevent teen vaping, presented by ATS The Bridge, Bradley County Schools, and Cleveland City Schools.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles, perfectly suited for your adventurous spirit. From powerful SUVs ready to conquer any terrain to your everyday gas-friendly commuters, we have the perfect vehicle to match your lifestyle. This is Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive dreams become reality. Visit one of our 3 locations in Dalton, Chattanooga, and Cleveland today, and let us take your driving experience to new peaks.
Hey, it's Josh with exciting news from Wholesale Supply. I want to introduce you to Piper's Picks, now available in our Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Dalton markets. Thanks to our partnership with Piper Strummett and our friends at Progress Lighting, Piper's Picks brings you the latest trends and styles in decorative lighting. Browse our curated selection in our showrooms and make lighting your project easier than ever. Visit Wholesale Supply today and discover Piper's Picks, where style meets innovation. To find out more information and a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us for more.
727 is Marion County 33-3 over Brainerd. CCS shuts out Ottawa 42-zip. Signal Mountain, they shut out Chattanooga Central 29-0, and it was Notre Dame 73-0 over Grace Baptist. Watch out for the Irish there. East Hamilton 36-14 over Hickson. It was McCauley 35-14 over Lipscomb Academy. Mex County in a low-scoring game 6-zip over Chattanooga Prep. McMinn Central defeats Polk County 22-12. Ray County goes on the road and they beat Red Bank 10-7, excuse me. Tyner Academy, we talked about that a little while ago. They get the 2-point conversion late. They come away with a 28-27 win over Silverdale. Lookout Valley 14-12 over Sunbright. Sale Creek 28-14 over Wartburg. Huntland 17-14 over Whitwell. Sweetwater 65-7 over Sequoia, and of course up the road, Alcoa at home defeats Maryville 28-21. That is the up-to-date scoreboard here on the Warren and Griffin scoreboard.
All right, let's just go around the room here and let's talk about our 2 local games next week, and let's make some picks.
All right, I'll
Jim,
go ahead.
We'll start with you.
I'll chime in. I think Bradley's going to go to Walker Valley, and I think Bradley's going to find a way to get that W on the road there at Walker Valley. I think Bradley's going to, listen, all the penalties, I think they're going to clean up that next week, so I think Bradley's going to come away with a win there. Cleveland at McMinn, I just think Cleveland's a little shorthanded this year. I'm going to go with the Cherokees there at home. So McMinn, I'm going to predict that they go 2-0 at home against Cleveland High School.
I will ditto your calls. I believe that Bradley goes on the road to Walker Valley, comes away with the win. I believe that McMinn comes away with the win against Cleveland. I think Cleveland has got their work cut out for them this season. What about you, RC?
Yeah, so I do. I think Bradley's going to come away with the win on Friday at Walker Valley. Coach Floyd, again, does a great job at rebounding. The players are going to come ready to play. And I do think the Cherokees are really strong up front, and I think they're going to control the line of scrimmage and, just run the football well with Peanut, number 8.
Yeah.
Running back.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's fantastic tonight.
All right. Well, I believe we're going to call it a show tonight. We appreciate everybody listening and calling in, and we look forward to hearing from you guys next week. This has been the inaugural show of this season.
The Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, one show down and several to go.
We will see you next week.